probably have a plant that looks something like this. Right? I know what you're thinking, like, oh, if her plant looks like this, why the am I going to watch her video on how to make my plant not look like this? But realistically, you should be like, oh my gosh, her plant looks just like mine. Let's fix it. The only thing I'm going to be using is going to be Miracle-Gro potting mix indoor. These are indoor plants. A pot of your choosing. An empty bin for all the old soil. Because my pot that I chose only has one drainage hole, I'm going to change that with just a regular drill and a metal bit, right? So I'm going to do is turn the pot over. Now I know this drill could do what I needed to do. I had a feeling that wasn't going to work, so I'm just going to go with my original plan. This pot only has one drainage hole, and we need the water when we do water it. When the soil is too full, it doesn't accept any more water, there to be a small barrier so that all that water can properly exit this teeny weeny hole. So I'm gonna take some rocks and just while you're here, see if you could do this for me instead. Cause I want to use this pot.
15 minutes later.
Thank you. It was hella root bound, and that is why I feel like all this yellowing is going on. I'm going to take away the dead ones. Or maybe I'll do the soil first. No, I'll do the dead ones first. And then I'm going to break apart some of this old soil. That is what I would do to it. Just get everybody not so compacted. And then when you look back at the bottom of the dirt, it's just the roots that are in the middle that are coming down. I was going to use this black pot, but I honestly think it's a little bit too tiny. Just because if you can see, the roots are still going to be compacted. They're still going to be really tight in there. So I do feel the need to go a little bit bigger than this pot. So let me go outside and find a bigger pot because I wasn't expecting to have to go any bigger than this one. And then we will add soil to that pot and go from there. I do see some baby ones that I want to try to propagate, and they look really promising as far as still being really green. So let's see if we could do that, and then we'll pull this guy out, even though I'm having FOMO about it, and I feel like I could save it. But let's be real, I don't think I can. This terracotta pot, to me, will be better. So I'm just going to add a little bit of soil, and it has a pretty big drainage hole. So, taking the Miracle-Gro indoor potting mix and just adding some to the bottom of this, about a quarter of the way through. Some about a quarter of the way through first, because I like to test it with my meter and then water it until it comes up in the meter as being moist. Add the rest and then do the same thing to the top half of the potting mix. That way it just tells me that starting from the beginning, the plant is watered. Because I want all of the roots to basically be down further into the pot, I'm going to hold my plant up to the desired height I want it sitting in here, and then just add the soil. Taking the soil that came out of the pot, I'm also going to add that. I'm going to now decapitate my plant, and it gives me major FOMO because I feel like I could have saved it, but I know I couldn't. It's already yellow. She's super soft, super wilted. Throw it away. Kiss her goodbye. I still don't have it at the height that I want it, so I'm going to be holding it up and adding more soil. Once I start getting to the top and it's the height that I want it, I start to make it secure. You can see how the root of what I put is still loose. So I'm just going to start compacting it at the top as I add this soil, just so that the plant feels secure. pressing the top part of the soil in, especially around the root. And I'm not gonna lie, I always like to take my plants and try to propagate them, and I would propagate this guy and these. Even though this one is already falling over, I am probably gonna try to dig these out. Now that that is all pressed and compacted in there, I'm going to water it once again until my soil meter reads that the water is all the way down into the pot. Your first watering is always going to seem like a lot of water. That is because it is a lot of water. I noticed that the fact that I did just flood my plant and I can already see the water is sinking down into the pot is a good sign. I'm just waiting for it to come out the bottom if it does or if it doesn't. And this is how I would repot this type of plant. Two other things to keep in mind. This was the first diagnostics I've made when I had this plant. The second thing is going to be finding a suitable area in your home that this plant is going to thrive in. And second is going to be knowing a watering schedule. How often you water your plants will determine how they act. Some plants are super dramatic and theatrical when it comes to being overwatered or underwatered, but a proper light source and shade and X amount of hours in the light will also help your plants thrive. So this was just an experiment for me. So I'm just testing the waters for real because I only know how to keep succulents, bamboo, and monsteras alive. I've never really dealt with a plant that is a lot more tender. Don't be mad. I'm just saying you're tender, like you're special, okay? But at the end of the day, this is what I do in my spare time. So I'm like, why not bring it to YouTube? And don't hate me because your plant probably looked just like the beginning of my plant. So let's figure it out together. Leave me some comments down below on any tips and tricks you guys have on indoor plants, light sources, fertilizer, I'm all ears because this plant is really special to me because my mom got it for me. So I really want to keep it alive for as long as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more. I'm literally always here. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.